Horoscope analysis, Kendra and Kona, Taurus rising. Rule 10 asserts that when lords of Kendras, Konas, or neutral houses occupy other Kendras or Konas, their beneficial effects are enhanced and their malefic implications are suppressed. However, if these same lords are placed in trick houses, 6th, 8th, 12th, their good results may get disturbed. Rule 11 states that when trick lords, 6th, 8th, or 12th lords, occupy a Kona, Kendra, or neutral house, in that order, their positive traits get enhanced. While their difficult aspects may persist to some extent, the position improves the constructive potential of the trick house. Saturn in the 9th house, Capricorn own sign. Saturn rules the 9th and 10th for Taurus rising, a Kona and a Kendra. When placed in its own sign in a Kona house, Rule 10 applies strongly. The Dharma and Karma axis is harmonized, leading to principled action, responsibility, and long-term educational or philosophical maturity. Saturn here enhances one's belief system, traditional values, and support from mentors. The malefic edge of Saturn is tempered, and spiritual growth is achieved through effort and discipline. Mars in the 10th house, Aquarius, conjunct Saturn. Mars rules the 7th and 12th. It is a Kendra and trick lord. When in the 10th, a Kendra with Saturn, Rule 11 applies. While Mars as 12th lord could typically cause loss or isolation, in the Kendra, it enhances the positive traits of the 12th, work in foreign lands, retreat-based leadership, or hidden influence. Saturn, the 9th and 10th lord, adds structure and ethical grounding. This conjunction favors careers in technology, administration, or global logistics, roles requiring resilience and strategic thinking. Venus in the 4th house, Leo, conjunct Mercury. Venus rules the Lagna and the 6th. Mercury rules the 2nd and 5th. Rule 10 applies to Mercury, a Kona, and Artha lord. Venus, despite being a 6th lord, trick, is also the Lagna lord, so Rule 11 applies. Their placement in the 4th house enhances inner peace, aesthetic comfort, and educational nourishment. This pairing supports those in the arts, real estate, or healing environments. Venus's trick lordship enhances her ability to resolve conflict at home, while Mercury adds mental clarity and voice in domestic matters. Jupiter in the 8th house, Sagittarius, own sign. Jupiter rules the 8th and 11th, trick and upachaya houses. In the 8th house and own sign, Rule 11 applies. The 8th house, generally feared, now transforms into a source of deep spiritual wisdom, inheritance, or occult insight. Jupiter's position here improves research capability and metaphysical intelligence. Its malefic implications, sudden losses, control issues are moderated. This is excellent for those in psychology, surgery, or spiritual leadership. Sun in the 5th house, Virgo, conjunct Mars. Sun rules the 4th, Mars rules 7th and 12th. Rule 10 applies to Sun as a Kendra lord, and Rule 11 to Mars. The 5th, being a Kona house, supports creative intelligence and romantic expression. Sun strengthens mental will, and Mars energizes it with drive and determination. Mars's 12th lordship is expressed positively through imagination, healing, or secretive strategy. This duo excels in research, teaching, sports, or writing. The aspect on the 11th supports gain through intellectual or competitive pursuits. Moon in the 3rd house, Cancer, own sign. Moon rules the 3rd and sits in its own sign in a neutral house. Rule 10 applies in a modified form. The 3rd house is not a Kendra Kona, but Moon's placement in own sign uplifts initiative, communication, and courage. Negative traits like inconsistency or fear are reduced. This placement enhances storytelling ability, emotional articulation, and strong sibling connections. Ideal for those in writing, journalism, or arts. Mercury in the 5th house, Virgo, own sign, conjunct Jupiter. Mercury rules 2nd and 5th. Jupiter rules 8th and 11th. Rule 10 favors Mercury fully in own sign and Kona house. Rule 11 applies to Jupiter. Its placement in the 5th allows 8th house traits, depth, transformation, power, to express through education, strategy, and influence. This combination fosters financial acumen, scholarly success, and thought leadership. Strong placement for lawyers, advisors, or consultants. Saturn in the 10th house, Aquarius, conjunct Sun. Saturn rules the 9th and 10th, Sun rules the 4th. All are Kendra Kona lords. Rule 10 applies unequivocally. Karma, home, and Dharma align. Sun-Saturn together may suggest ego-discipline tension, but in the 10th, it creates dignified leadership, administrative maturity, and responsible reputation. Their aspect on the 4th deepens legacy, land-related power, and ethical family foundations. This is ideal for governance, public service, or policy-related roles. Horoscope analysis, Kendra and Kona, Virgo rising. Rule 10 emphasizes that when lords of Kendras, Konas, or neutral houses are placed in other Kendras or Konas, the positive outcomes of their houses are elevated and their negative expressions are reduced. Rule 11 explains that trick lords, 6th, 8th, 12th, when placed in a Kona, Kendra, or neutral house, enhance the positive aspects of their respective houses, like transformation, competition, or service, while softening their malefic tendencies. Mercury in the 1st house, Virgo, own sign, conjunct Venus. Mercury rules the 1st and 10th houses, and Venus rules the 2nd and 9th. Mercury in its own sign as Lagna Lord in a Kendra fully activates Rule 10. Venus, as 9th Lord, is a Kona ruler, and her conjunction adds harmony, grace, and fortune. This pairing blesses self-image, voice, and career direction with intelligence and diplomacy. Their aspect on the 7th promotes refined relationships, eloquence in public life, and long-term professional clarity. Saturn in the 5th house, Capricorn own sign, conjunct Mars. Saturn rules the 5th and 6th, Mars rules 3rd and 8th. Rule 10 applies to Saturn. Kona Lord in own sign enhances intelligence, legacy, and creativity through responsibility. Mars, though a double trick lord when placed in a Kona with Saturn, satisfies Rule 11. Its malefic edge is converted into transformative intellect and strategic strength. This pair supports careers in engineering, law, or education with a disciplined, fearless mind and resilient creative expression. Moon in the 11th house, Cancer own sign conjunct Jupiter. Moon rules the 11th. Jupiter rules 4th and 7th, both Kendras. Moon in own sign in an Upachaya amplifies gains, networks, and fulfillment of long-term goals. Jupiter's placement fulfills Rule 10, boosting emotional fulfillment, maternal connections, and nurturing leadership. Together, they foster influential social circles, public visibility, and abundant financial growth. Their aspect on the 5th blesses children, creativity, and popularity in the arts or public speaking. Sun in the 12th house, Leo, own sign, conjunct Mercury. Sun rules the 12th and Mercury rules the 1st and 10th. Rule 11 applies. Sun, as 12th lord, in its own sign in Adusthana enhances spiritual awareness, foreign success, and inner vision. Mercury uplifts the pairing with clarity and leadership. This combination supports foreign service, institutional leadership, spiritual disciplines, or research-based authority. Their aspect on the 6th grants strength over enemies and long-term healing capacity. Jupiter in the 7th house, Pisces, own sign. Conjunct Venus, Jupiter rules 4th and 7th. Venus rules 2nd and 9th. Both planets are benefics ruling Kendra and Kona houses, fulfilling Rule 10. Their union in a Kendra fosters dharmic relationships, love-based partnerships, and cooperative leadership. Venus enhances charm, and Jupiter adds grace and wisdom to the marriage and business realm. Their aspect on Lagna elevates personality with charisma, counsel-based insight, and kindness. Mars in the 3rd house, Scorpio, conjunct Mercury. Mars rules 3rd and 8th. Mercury rules 1st and 10th. Rule 11 applies to Mars, a trick lord in own sign in a neutral house, enhancing strategic communication, discipline, and younger sibling dynamics. Mercury, as Lagna and Karma lord, uplifts the placement with sharp intellect and commanding articulation. This pairing suits those in journalism, technical strategy, digital media, or security services where words and action align. Saturn in the 6th house, Aquarius, own sign, conjunct Moon. Saturn rules 5th and 6th, Moon rules 11th. Saturn in own sign fulfills Rule 11. Its 6th house lordship becomes constructive, leading to victory over obstacles, health management, and karmic purification. Moon adds emotional balance and networking skills. Their pairing creates a compassionate strategist, ideal for healthcare, the humanitarian administration, or service-driven leadership. Their aspect on the 12th supports healing, spiritual growth, and quiet long-term accomplishment. Sun in the 10th house, Gemini, conjunct Jupiter. Sun rules the 12th, Jupiter rules 4th and 7th. Sun, though a trick lord, in the Kendra with Jupiter fulfills Rule 11. Jupiter's double Kendra ownership satisfies Rule 10. This pairing enhances ethical career success, power through wisdom, and authoritative clarity. While Sun provides visibility, Jupiter adds grace and support. Ideal for spiritual administration, international diplomacy, or career paths tied to teaching and healing. Their aspect on the 4th blesses homeland reputation and legacy strength. Mercury in the 10th house, Gemini own sign, conjunct Venus. Mercury rules 1st and 10th. Venus rules 2nd and 9th. Mercury in own sign as double Kendra Lord is empowered per Rule 10. Venus, a Kona and Artha Lord, further uplifts the karmic house. This conjunction promotes brilliant articulation, balance in business decisions, and strong public visibility. Suitable for media, analytics, fashion, or diplomatic professions. Their aspect on the 4th supports refined upbringing, strong educational environments, and real estate luck. Horoscope analysis. Kendra and Kona, Capricorn rising. Rule 10 states that when the lords of Kendras, 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th, Konas, 5th, 9th, or neutral houses occupy other Kendras or Konas, the auspiciousness of their respective houses is amplified, while their negative implications are controlled. Rule 11 indicates that when trick lords, 6th, 8th, or 12th lords, are placed in a Kendra, Kona, or neutral house in that order, their positive traits such as resilience, service capacity, or spiritual depth are strengthened, even if their malefic side doesn't completely vanish. Saturn in the 1st house, Capricorn own sign, conjunct Mercury. Saturn rules the Lagna and 2nd house. Mercury rules the 6th and 9th. Rule 10 fully applies to Saturn, as Lagna Lord in own sign in a Kendra. It strengthens personality, discipline, and dignity. Mercury is a trick and Kona Lord, and when placed in Lagna, Rule 11 activates its ability to sharpen intellect and bring wisdom through adversity. Their conjunction bestows a deeply composed and intellectual personality, ideal for leadership in governance, research, or education. Mars in the 10th house, Libra, conjunct Venus. Mars rules 4th and 11th. Venus rules 5th and 10th. Rule 10 applies to both. Mars and Venus are functional benefics for Capricorn rising due to Kendra Kona rulership. Their conjunction in the 10th enhances career visibility, creative authority, and command over people and influence. The negative potential of Mars is softened by Venus's diplomacy. Ideal for artists, strategists, entrepreneurs, or influencers who blend charm and drive. Moon in the 7th house, Cancer, own sign, conjunct Jupiter. Moon rules the 7th and sits in own sign. Textbook case for Rule 10. Jupiter rules 3rd and 12th, and its presence in a Kendra satisfies Rule 11. Moon's placement enhances grace, charm, and marital stability. Jupiter adds a philosophical and spiritual quality to partnerships and public interactions. This is excellent for those in counseling, education, or spiritual relationship building professions. Their aspect on Lagna offers intuitive balance and dharmic charisma. Sun in the 8th house, Leo, own sign, conjunct Venus. Sun rules the 8th and sits in own sign. Venus rules 5th and 10th, both auspicious houses. Rule 11 supports Sun here. The 8th Lord in own sign expresses transformation, hidden knowledge, and resilience. Venus uplifts the house with grace, intelligence, and artistic flair. This combination suits individuals involved in esoteric sciences, healing professions, or inheritance-related fields. Their aspect on the 2nd supports secretive but wealthy speech and resource mastery. Mercury in the 9th house, Virgo own sign, conjunct Sun. Mercury rules 6th and 9th. Sun rules the 8th. Mercury in own sign in a Kona fulfills Rule 10 and neutralizes 6th house malefic tendencies under Rule 11. Sun, as 8th Lord in a Kona, channels transformation into dharmic wisdom. Their union supports spiritual teaching, legal philosophy, and strategic religious leadership. This is ideal for researchers, advisors, and legal professionals who operate through principle and clarity. Mars in the 4th house, Aries, own sign, conjunct Moon. Mars rules 4th and 11th, Moon rules the 7th. Rule 10 is satisfied for both. Mars in own sign in Kendra boosts courage, land gains, and emotional strength. Moon adds compassion, public grace, and refined partnerships. Their combination in the 4th blesses one with ancestral strength, property fortune, and leadership from a rooted center. Their aspect on the 10th grants success through bold yet empathetic action. Saturn in the second house, Aquarius, own sign, conjunct Sun. Saturn rules Lagna and second. Sun rules the eighth. Rule 10 applies to Saturn in own sign in Artha house, elevating speech, wealth, and leadership through ethics and maturity. Sun's eighth lordship in a neutral house fulfills Rule 11. Its transformation powers now fuel legacy, depth, and regenerative wealth. This pairing supports success in structured financial fields, policy, or estate management with long-lasting karmic stability. Venus in the fifth house, Taurus, own sign, conjunct Jupiter. Venus rules 5th and 10th. Jupiter rules 3rd and 12th. Venus in own sign in Kona fulfills Rule 10 and enhances creativity, love, and intellectual prosperity. Jupiter's trick ownership, 12th, is refined through Rule 11 when placed with a Kona lord. This pair supports artistic education, children, and creative independence. Excellent for performers, counselors, or designers who serve through beauty and Dharma. Mercury in the 6th house, Gemini own sign, conjunct Saturn. Mercury rules 6th and 9th. Saturn rules Lagna and second. Mercury's trick ownership is neutralized by being in own sign and with Saturn, the Lagna lord, activating Rule 11 positively. Saturn uplifts intelligence with maturity and structure. Their conjunction supports strong skill in litigation, analytical work, and competitive professions. Their aspect on the 12th aids in defeating hidden enemies and achieving success in service or global sectors.